Hello, and welcome back to the Trans Talk Hub podcast. I'm your host, Alyssa, alongside.
What's up, everybody? It's Braxton here yet again.
Welcome, as always. And today, we are going to be grabbing Lilly Tino by the cake pops, the ultimate exposure of Lilly Tino. So, if you don't know, if you've not been on TikTok at all, then we're going to really show you who Lilly Tino is. So, I guess before we really get into the exposure of everything, I guess I'll let you have your initial point on everything, and then we'll just kind of get right into it.
Yeah. Hello again, Lilly, if you're watching, which I'm sure you will. You're no stranger to me. You know that I don't like you at all. And I'm super excited for this podcast, honestly. I feel like I've spent a lot of time trying to be very nice about things and be very careful and tiptoe because of the nature of the community and everything that surrounds it. And at this point, I'm done. I'm tired of it. That's a man. That is not a trans woman. This is an abomination. This is terrible representation. And quite frankly, I'm tired of it. This person is disgusting. They are a predator. They don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. They are narcissistic. And they're just tearing us apart. They are not contributing at all, and they're making a bunch of money and propelling their career in the name of the trans community and being trans. And unfortunately, Lilly, you are not like me. You are not like my lovely friend Alyssa here. You are just delusional as fuck, and I am so ready to call you out. So let's get into it, man. I'm ready to roast this man.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to preface for those of you who, do support Lilly for whatever the strange reason is, I just want you to know that it is not transphobic to not be for the things that Lilly does. Like, it's not. It is you being, it's you having common sense. It's you understanding that these things are not okay. And if you still support Lilly Tino by the end of this, you're just as bad as they are.
Just as delusional. Bye.
Just as delusional, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up here the first little piece of everything, because it definitely gets pretty deep, I would say. Unfortunately. So here, this is Lilly's old Reddit, which has been exposed through a Snark page on Reddit, which we'll show a little bit later into the podcast. And we'll also have the link in the description if you want to basically follow along for all the BS that does come from the world of Lilly Tino. We'll dive into this a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Hopefully everything is pretty visible. Can you see it okay from your end?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Perfect. Yes, I can see it.
Unfortunately, yes. I will say none of this is going to be great stuff. I do also want to give a trigger warning to a lot of this stuff because it gets very deep, very weird. And yeah, I just want to kind of give that warning for those people who are very sensitive to certain things. Just be aware, and here it is. So this was a comment, as it says here in like the middle. This was the Lilly admitting to SAing a friend at 3 years old and bragging about it on Reddit. So it says, when I was 3, I'm a guy, quotation or parenthesis, my other 3-year-old friend, girl, and I would play doctor. I would put my fingers up her and licked it too. Guess I started from an early age. That shit is fucking gross. It's insane. Like, and then we're going to get into something here in a minute too, because there's a portion of one of these like screenshots that I have from this where he's basically trying to defend it and say, oh, it was just a page where it was basically about, oh, I can't believe I did this as a kid.
Right.
Like, and trying to like make it sound okay. There's nothing okay about this in any manner. Like, no. SA is SA, and it's a very serious matter.
Yeah, what he's saying is that, he's like, well, the page is, what the fuck was wrong with me as a kid, I think is what the initial post was that he was responding to. Either way, that is not what that was meant for. This is like next level shit. The fact that you felt comfortable at all to share this is insane. What bothers me is that at 3 years old, most people would not have any recollection of something of this nature. So that either tells me that you weren't actually three and you were older than this, or it didn't actually happen and this is just some fantasy that you've put out there. Either way, doesn't matter. You're fucking disgusting. You're a predator. You're gross. You are a sexual deviant. And you're putting it out online for everybody to see. And this is clear when you look at the content that's being put out even now, even just as as recent as a few weeks ago on X. Like it's so clear that the motive here and everything in this person's mind is sexual. Everything comes back to, and like I'm not saying that, like, maybe they went through something that caused this. A lot of the times this is a cyclical thing, and it comes from, this happened to me, so now I'm passing it. But either way, that's not right. That's not justification. If something did happen to you, sorry. I'm really sorry. I genuinely mean that from the bottom of my heart. But you continuing that cycle makes you just as much of a piece of shit as the person that potentially did it to you. There's no excuse. This is gross. This is disgusting.
It really is, and it is predatory behavior. And there's no, and like you said, like if it makes you wonder, like, was that the age? You're just trying to make it sound like it was okay because it was a younger age, whatever. Regardless, it's not okay. It's not. It's just it's insane that this would happen to begin with, and then you're trying to basically explain that it's okay because of the context that you stated it in. There,
Yep.
it doesn't matter what context you stated it in. It doesn't make it okay at
Nope.
all whatsoever.
And
And
that was
let's
just the
see.
first of Lily's victims. Just the first.
Exactly. Absolutely. So I'm gonna move on to the second one here. Give me a second to get that pulled up here, because I'm trying to find the. Okay, here we go. This is it, and I'm gonna zoom a little bit because I'm gonna have to scroll on this one. So we're gonna go right into it again. So this was about exactly what we were talking about. How they were trying to say,
Mhm.
well, you guys are like taking it out of context. You don't understand how I meant it. Doesn't matter how you meant it.
Doesn't matter. Does not fucking
Yeah,
matter.
at all. So it says here, as per the other post about an experience I had when I was 3, yes, it happened. I was playing a game of you show me yours, I'll show you mine, with someone who was also my age. What the screenshot doesn't show you is that I submitted this in a response to a thread entitled Reddit, What's Your WTF Was Wrong with Me as a Kid Story. Out of context, this comment suggests that I have continued to behave this way with underage people since I have not. Really doubt that if you've done it once, like whatever.
The out of
But
context thing is just, that's redundant. That
it
there
really
is
is.
no out of context. It doesn't matter what the context is. The content is the same. The deliverable is the same. That doesn't, it's still disgusting. I don't care if it was out of context or that's crazy. That's crazy. Delusional.
It really is. I'm going to skip to this part where it says the I guess I started young comment was a poorly worded joke. So that already is a red flag because you said that it was a poorly worded joke. Why would you joke about the matter to begin with?
Yep.
It's not a jokeable matter.
Yep. We watch a lot of like To Catch a Predator type shows. We watch a lot of them. Uh, and one thing that is pretty consistent when these men get caught is they always love to say, well, I was just joking. I wasn't serious. I wasn't really going to do anything. It was just a joke. I was just joking around with her, when they think it's like a 13, 14-year-old girl and they're talking about pretty heinous things to do with a child. And that's exactly what this is giving. It's the exact same energy. It's, I got caught in something really gross, so therefore it just has to be a joke. So you don't take a joke seriously. So I'm just going to say it's a joke so that people won't take it seriously. Again, you're delusional. That's crazy. Doesn't matter if a joke. It's a terrible joke. It is a bad joke, and the fact that you would even say that is disgusting. It's so telling about who you are. I don't care if it's a joke or not. It's disgusting. It's gross that I started early. 3 years old? 3 years old? No. Mm-mm. Disgusting.
Truly. And so this is another one. If you seen the original like Reddit thing that I was showing, it also showed a section where she was, or he, sorry, was was basically, you know, I guess stating that blackface wasn't that big a deal and it was kind of
It's
just a
funny.
joke. It was
Hmm.
funny, apparently, per them. And so he goes on to make another post here, and it says, "You might have recently seen a screenshot attached in case, if you haven't, of two comments that I made on Reddit in November of 2011 when I was 18 years old. I can confirm that both are true and not photoshopped. Both comments bring me deep shame. I'm sure it does. The blackface comment was disgusting, and inexcusable. At 18, I was in a very dark and sad place. By the way, no excuse for it.
None.
Um, Considered myself to be an edge lord, whatever that means, and thought that offensive, dark, and edgy humor like this was funny. While I knew at the time that blackface was wrong, I thought it was funny to poke and prod with offensive jokes like this. So if you knew it was wrong, then why would you joke about it? Somebody with common sense would not poke or prod per se, or make a joke about something that they knew was wrong.
Well, I mean, in trying to claim that you have any shame, that's laughable. Laughable. Look at the content that you make today. Look at the content you've been making that you continue to make. You have zero shame. You posted a picture on X with your entire ass out asking who's hopping in next. And you want to talk about having shame? You don't know what shame is. Come on now. You slipped up and said the N-word, and then you said that it didn't deserve an apology because it wasn't directed at anybody. But then you expect anybody who makes a mistake and accidentally calls you male or he or sir, they need to give you an apology. Okay, for sure.
Yeah, it's this whole thing is crazy. The more you deep dive into it, it
It's
really,
insane.
really gets wild. So this is the next little part. Once again, one of these WTF was wrong with me as a kid. With me, it'd have to be when I was walking home from school in the second grade, and I had found a dead baby bird, probably newborn, no feathers. I had picked it up and carried it home. When I got home, I hid in my playhouse and dissected this baby bird, tore it apart with my bare hands, and played with the organs. What the fuck was wrong with me as a kid? It's given like Jeffrey Dahmer type shit,
100%.
honestly.
Yeah, I hadn't even
That
seen this.
is, yeah, I'm telling you, it gets deep. And I know you know because you've seen a lot of this, but
Oh
like
yeah.
some of this I ended up grabbing, from the Reddit itself, and this is disgusting.
It's just crazy.
It
The whole
really
thing is
is.
crazy. And like if you really cannot see the predatory behavior from this person and you're just not grasping it yet, just hold on to your seats. There's so much more. There's so much more. And it's just crazy. It is so crazy that this person is platformed the way that they are and they behave this way. Why have these questions? Why is nobody asked or pushed back yet? Like there's a few for sure, but not enough. Not enough. Which it is happening, and I will say I'm very happy for that. Here recently we've kind of seen a fall in the social media of this person. Super excited to see that. I'm so ready for it to be completely dismantled, and I'm hoping that this is going to play a part in that.
I hope so too, because I had like honestly, like right now, I tried it earlier. If you go to YouTube right now and you just type in Lilly Tino, there's like five, six, maybe seven exposing videos
Hmm.
will be added onto the list
Yes.
for the
Yeah.
for the right reasons. This person
Proudly.
does not deserve a
Proudly.
platform. Me
No.
and you, we come together week in and week out to provide a podcast to talk about things the way it should be.
Yep.
We talk from a sense of common sense. I know it's not very common, but we actually have common sense. We think about things logically and we try to give good points. So somebody like us who does the right kind of videos, shares the right kind of information,
Yep.
we don't get 3 to 4 thousand per TikTok video, but
Nope.
this person does.
Yep.
And it's insane that that they are being platformed, like you said. And people like you and I just get shunned. It's like, oh, we don't care about them.
Right.
We
But
only
even
care about the
outside of the
people who spread the
podcast, it's like
bullshit.
who we are as people. Like we in our everyday lives, we're just good people. I can say that confidently about both of us. We care about other people. Like we we're selfless, you know. We're not out here trying to gain a platform by rage baiting people, right? Like yes, we put stuff out there that might piss people off, but we're not doing it in a way that's trying to rage bait. We're not trying to like do all this crazy shit that like we're just speaking what we actually believe to be true, and it's of sound mind. We're not taking advantage of people. We're not being shitty to people. I mean, shit, up until now, I've referred to Lily as she and her. I refuse to now because of what's gone down. Don't believe that this person even deserves that right. So I am going to push back now. But we're good people. We care about people. There's a huge difference in who we are and this person is. And they get all this push. I mean, people sending them money for bottom surgery that they never had and probably are never gonna have. That sent her and or excuse me, him and his mom to Disney, where he could talk about surgeries in front of children. Like, come on now, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane.
It really is, and I know this is pertaining, but it's a tad bit off the subject. But I just want to say, like, we are all for supporting trans people who
Yes.
are like coming to the spotlight and actually deserve it. I'm going to give
Yep.
a real good example because I will say because I feel like she is actually trans, and I feel like you can tell, and it's genuine. And that's Jules from the whole very demure, very mindful, like that whole trend. She deserves every ounce of that fame, in my opinion. Like the fact that she's been able to like actually, um, you know, make these little videos, and now she can like have these surgeries and all these different
Yep.
things from the
Yep.
TikTok platform. I think is great, but
Yep.
they're not doing anything super controversial. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
they're doing like traditional stuff that you would expect from like a trans woman. They can
Yeah, I mean,
post,
she's essentially saying the same things that we've been saying. That like when I'm not getting turned down or being looked at or being judged or being treated shitty because I'm not coming into a situation and acting crazy or she's like I'm very demure, very mindful, and like a lot of people are annoyed with the video. I get that too, but I understand the basis of what she's saying, and it's that yeah, I don't act crazy so I don't get treated that way. It's the exact same thing that I've been saying. It's the exact same thing you've been saying. I don't act like that so I don't get treated like that. So of course that's not my experience. So then I'm able to see that people don't just hate trans people to hate trans people. They hate annoying people. I hate annoying people. I don't want to be around someone who's annoying as shit and everything's about me and when I gotta cry about everything. That's annoying.
exactly. And
And
the
that's all
thing
she's
is
saying.
that
So I agree.
there's people who you wouldn't even expect that are now saying this term that's recently gone viral from a trans woman. You wouldn't expect. Like there's like football coaches and like all kinds of like different people you wouldn't expect that are like very demure, very
Yeah.
very this, very that. It's like like companies are saying this now. It's like it's taking the world by storm, and it's because she's not a shitty person.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you can have good examples from the trans community who aren't super controversial and say crazy shit. Like it's possible. And so I just wanted to mention that so everyone knows that like we do support other trans people. Like we're not trying to say like, oh, just support us, whatever. Like I mean,
Sure.
we just try to give you good information, and we try to state things from what we believe is a good point to speak on. But it's like there are good trans people out there that deserve their fame or whatever. But this
Yep.
person, absolutely not. And also, so the screenshot that I'm showing here is from pullpush.io. If any of you want to dive deep from your end on this Lilly Tino stuff, all you have to do is take the username here, fuck pomegranates, which was Lily's old Reddit username. If you
Mm.
put that into pullpush.io, you'll see a
Everything.
lot of this stuff that we're pulling
It pulls up
and
everything.
everything. And you can get pretty in depth with it, but we're really just showing you like the intense part of it all. But if you want to like do your own research and look into it, that's exactly how you do it, and that would
Hmm.
be the method to dive deep on your own end. So I just wanted to share that. And then let's see. We definitely have some pretty wild videos to react to as
Yeah.
well. I don't know which one you'd rather start with. I'm gonna let you have the pick here. So, you talked a little bit about it. So I don't know if you want to start with that. But we talked a little bit about Lilly and him talking about his spicy content and all this
Mhm.
weird shit that he does. But there's a video, and I have it with him and his mom
Uh,
where he's basically like getting all quiet, and
it's so
it's very
uncomfortable.
weird to talk
It's so
about
uncomfortable.
spicy content right next to your mother. I could never imagine, like, I don't think I'd ever do spicy content, but if I ever did, I definitely wouldn't be talking to my mom about it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not to say like, okay, my mom's my best friend, right? So sometimes like we can talk openly about a lot of things. If I need advice on something, I can go to my mom, even if it is of a sexual nature. I'm not doing it on a video in the way that they've done it here. It's very different. It's when I'm going to my mom about something that I genuinely just need advice on, and I trust my mom with everything, right? So this is a person I can go to. I understand that wholeheartedly. No problems with that. But doing it in this way on a platform where like she clearly was not ready for this. She clearly did not know that this was coming. And it was I think that's kind of what the motive was. That it was kind of for that reaction and kind of for like it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's get into it.
Absolutely, and you'll definitely hear it here, unfortunately.
Love you to pieces. Yeah, you can join Lily's Lovelies, $5 a month and up. If you are listening to this anytime after April 18th or 19th, chances are you're not on the Patreon because they are getting it early, right? You get it a whole week early. It's very exciting stuff. Also, and don't tell my mom I said this as if she's not sitting right next to me. Earmuffs, mother. Thank you. You get spicy content of me, spicy things. I did some spicy stuff today while my mom was gone. Don't tell her I said that, okay? All right. All right. Now I'm going to go back so she can't see me. Okay.
You can see it all over her face. She's trying really
You
hard
really
to hide it.
can.
That's her kid, and I get that. But I feel for this woman because I think she's just trying really hard to be a good mom. And I am sure Lily does not make that easy. That is like that's just it made me uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable to watch. Like I just feel bad for her. Like why would you even you could have mentioned that in any other video. You could have posted a one-off video talking about that. You did not have to push that in this video where your mother is involved. It's gross. It's just weird. Fucking
It
weird.
really is. Like, I don't know anyone who genuinely wouldn't be uncomfortable hearing that, because they did it in a very weird sense anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Can we talk about the voice for a second? Like
yeah, can we?
you sound like me. Like you're not even trying, babe. Like are gender dysphoria where?
Exactly
Where?
that. Because, like, for me, this is not my neutral voice. I do the best I can. I understand it's not the greatest, but I do what I can within my means to try to give a, like a, I don't know, a feminine flow to my
You do a
voice.
great job. You do a great
And
job.
but I put in effort.
Yep.
Somebody like this person doesn't put in effort. You can, like, be like, transitioning is more than just like, oh, the hair, the makeup, the clothes. It gets deeper than that.
Yep.
You need to focus on things that, like your body language. It gets way deep into it, but, like, honestly, that just shows that he's not even trying. And
No, I mean,
through all of this is why we refuse to call Lily she, because
yep.
there's so
Definitely.
much behavior that is very clear when you watch these videos, and you dive deep into the Reddit. They do not deserve to be called she.
Nope.
They really don't.
Nope.
And so we're gonna go ahead and get into this video here, which is pretty wild. And we'll
It's a
talk about
lot and
this
it's
one.
kind of all over the place, so like bear
It
with
really
us,
is.
but it's worth the watch.
Absolutely.
What bathroom do I use? Women's only. Yeah, I'm legally female. I can't go into a men's bathroom. It would be weird. Earlier on in my transition, sometimes I'd like, it would just depend on how I feel that day. Like, maybe I'm a little too scared to go in the women's bathroom, but yeah, only women's. I do have a lollipop, and a lot of women do. A lot of women have lollipops, Samantha.
No.
Have I ever experienced discrimination in a public bathroom?
So gross.
Not explicitly, but I always feel everyone's, like if there's someone who's like washing their hands when I'm walking in, I always feel their eyes on me. Always. Because I know they're like, there's a thought process that goes through their mind. They're not used to seeing trans people in bathrooms. They'll be like, whoa, oh, okay, no, this is okay. We're cool with this. Got it. Like, I can see that happen. Is it triggering for me at all that I still have a cake pop stick? I don't like my cake pop stick. That's why even in my spicy content,
Sure.
I don't really make much use of it. Because it's just, let me put it this way. I'll be very happy once I have a donut instead.
Ugh, dude, I can't with the pulling food out of your mouth and just shoving shit in while you're
disgusting.
trying to talk. Like, I'm sorry, that's not very ladylike.
It's really not.
That's like incredibly masculine. Sorry. Like, and I'm not saying that's what makes a man or a woman or whatever, but like, come on now. Come on. For real. Like, you clearly have no inkling of femininity in you.
No.
At all. It's so crazy. And like I said, this video is a lot. It's a lot of like back and forth. The bathroom thing. Of course you feel eyes on you. And it's not that these women are not used to seeing trans people in the bathroom. They're not used to seeing men in the women's restroom. Has nothing to do with you being trans because you're not. You're not. It has to do with the fact that you are a man dressed as a woman, taking over a woman's space because you have no regard for them. Of course they're uncomfortable, but you don't give a shit, do you? Because it's Lily's world and we're all living in it, aren't we? Disgusting. And then you want to say the shit about the lollipop and that a lot of women have lollipops. No, they don't. A lot of trans women might still have lollipops. Sure. Women do not have lollipops. That is not a thing. And then to turn around and say that you don't like it and that's why you don't make use of it in your spicy content. I don't know if we have any of these photos pulled, but if you go to this X account, please, I implore you, look at any of the photos. You want to know what's right front and center? Dick. I'll say what it is. It ain't a fucking lollipop. And it's front and center, baby. I mean, you're putting it on display and it's so clear that that's what you're doing. But yet, you don't like it and you don't want to make use of it and you don't. Come on now. Who are you trying to convince? Them or you? Delusion. Just absolute delusion through and through. God, this video gets me. I mean, I'm sure you could tell while I'm watching it. Like, it just drives me insane. This is crazy. It's disgusting through and through. Your table manners are disgusting. Your thought process about women is disgusting. All of it. You're gross. You're gross. Be better if you can. If you even know how. If you even know what that means.
I don't think he does know how to do better. Like I really don't think so at this point, because it's like you haven't learned from like things that you did like 2-3 years ago.
Mm-mm.
And you're like continuing to do very like similar stuff. Like
you haven't learned from 12 years ago.
That too.
That's when that post was. Honestly, and at this point, it's been like 13, 14 years ago. And they haven't learned. Like, get some therapy. Go to therapy. Get off of the internet and go find a therapist and talk through this shit because you are fucked up, my friend. And I'm not even saying that to be an asshole. I'm genuinely concerned not only about you, but also the people that you actually physically interact with. You need to get some help. I say that from the bottom of my heart because you are a human being and I am a human being, and you got some shit to work through, friend. It's crazy. It is
It's
sad.
insane because, like, as an actual trans woman,
Mm-hmm.
when I go to a restaurant, I'm very, I'm gonna say it because we talked about it from the train. I'm very mindful, very demure
It's
when I eat. You
murder.
know what I mean? Like I put the little what is it, tablecloth on my
Mm-hmm.
lap.
Mm-hmm.
I have
I
the
do.
silverware by my side. You know what I mean? I don't smack when I eat. I chew with my mouth closed. I don't talk when I eat. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these things I think about all the time because I am, like trying to ensure that, like, I mean, I'm not saying I do it like outside of a restaurant, but I'm just saying you
Right.
think more about those things when you're in a public space, like
Correct.
a nice restaurant or whatever, because you want to be proper and you care about it
Yep.
because that's how society is. Like you don't want to look crazy out and like in front of people. So
Yep.
it's like you put the time into, like, like let me slow down when I eat. Like, at the house, like if I'm really hungry, maybe I won't worry about it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like in a restaurant, it's like there is an etiquette to eating. Let's just be real. In a public
Yes.
space, there is an
Yes.
etiquette to eating. It doesn't matter what side you're on.
Mm-mm.
Like there is still an etiquette. Like even men, like if they were just eating all crazy, like it would be like,
I'd still look
"Are
at them
you
and be like, dude,
okay?"
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, like, "Are
Yeah.
you okay? Are you all right? Like, are
Are you
you
starving?
starving? Have you ate
Exactly.
the
Yes,
past
I was
week?"
just
Like
about to say.
it's like
Uh,
there's a lot of questions that would be, asked at that point.
well, I mean,
But
like the whole reason that we transition, at least as far as I'm concerned, is because we are being perceived as something that we do not want to be perceived as. I in no way want to be perceived as female, the same way you in no way want to be perceived as male. So what did we do? We switched up our presentation so that we can be perceived as what we want to be perceived as because we are sound-minded people and we understand how the world works and that we're not just going to go out and change society to view everything the way we want them to and build this ideal world for ourselves. That's not how that works. That's just crazy. And convincing people and trying to teach people that that's how it should be and that we can get there, that's unrealistic. And you're setting people up for failure. You're making people incredibly weak. The future of trans people is at a huge risk because of people like this, because you're convincing them that the world should be this way. No, it shouldn't. Who says? It's never gonna be that way. Even if it should, even if the argument is correct and it should, it's not gonna. That's unrealistic. People are gonna be shitty. People murder people. We just had another school shooting. And how many have we had? And how many talks have we had about it? And uproars and riots and protests? And it doesn't change. It's just at some point we've got to accept reality. And we have to accept that the world kind of sucks. And if you want to survive, you got to learn how to play that game. And people will label us as assholes and we're shitty people and we're this. Really, we're just looking out for you. We're just trying to ground you back down to earth so that you don't get your feelings hurt, so that you can get to a place where it doesn't matter what somebody says to you. You know who you are. You're confident in who you are, and it doesn't matter. You're doing the right things. Like if somebody tries to come to me and calls me she, okay, I got a whole ass beard. I sound like a dude. I look like a dude. Like you look silly at this point because I've put in that effort. So now you can't say shit to me. But if I was to go out with a full beaten face and a mini skirt on and little pigtails or some shit, of course I'm going to get called she. Of course, even if I sound like, come on now. This is crazy. Y'all are crazy. Insane.
truly. And I just want to, I'm not going to show the video because we already basically showed it on one of the prior episodes, but I do want to speak to it because it honestly still pisses me off, that,
Mm.
because there was the whole supposed surgery timeline. He was going to get surgery and remove, like his part or whatever. And the thing is that we watched a video on the last little episode where we talked about Lilly. And the thing about that is it pisses me off so much because, like, literally next month, October 23rd, I want to preface that,
Yep.
actually have bottom surgery.
Yep.
And I already have all of these same type of things that he had when he was doing his little unboxing or whatever. But you know what I didn't do when I unboxed them? I didn't take them out of the package and start playing with them or like squeezing the little Perry bottle like it was a freaking squeeze toy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was ridiculous watching that. It really pisses me off. Those are things that you need because of something that you're going through. It's
Yep.
not this laughing moment of like, oh,
Absolutely.
hey, I bet this works like this or blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not a funny, joking moment.
No.
Like, as somebody who actually is going to go have this surgery,
Yep.
that really pisses me off.
What's worse is that he had people donating these things for this surgery that he never had, that he probably has no intention on getting. Clearly. I mean, at this rate, like, you get donations all the time. You practically beg for gifts on TikTok Live. And I've sat in a few lives and I've seen them come in. You're making enough money to go out, and instead what you're doing is you go to these nice ass restaurants and you order these fancy ass plates with like steak and lobster and all these like fancy ass. You could be prioritizing things and still get, if you truly wanted bottom surgery, you can make it happen. You can make it happen. Now, I'm not one to be able to say that, look at it this way. I was transitioning for 10 years, been transitioning for 10 years. I still haven't had top surgery. Mind you, it's getting scheduled. We're finally there. In like 2 months tops, I should be getting these things yeeted, and I'm super excited about it. And a lot of the reason that it took that much time was because, one, I was a kid. I was very young. Not to say I was a kid. Let's not start an uproar. I was 18 essentially when I started. I was 2 weeks shy, and I was learning how to navigate the world, and I was learning how to handle my finances and all of these things. That is not the same case for Lilly. You are a full blown adult. You live in San Francisco, which is incredibly expensive compared to where I've been in my life. And you're getting all these donations. You're riding around in self driving cars and bragging about that on your TikTok, but you can't afford to get your surgery. You had to push it back because of hair growth. What's it going to be next? I just don't get that. I really don't get that. And the whole thing is just crazy. Like, you put other people out. You take the things that they work hard for, that they've earned, and they donate to you and they gift to you and they send to you or whatever, and then you just piss it all away because you're a narcissist and you don't care.
Absolutely. That's really honestly what all of these things give is narcissism.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, like, I mean, this is a person that what like the misgendering thing, is where all of is where Lilly really started on TikTok, and it's
Yep.
like you can't let someone have a mistake, like a genuine, honest mistake.
Apparently
You
not.
gotta throw them under the bus. You gotta talk to the manager. You gotta, I don't know. You gotta make a fuss about it on social media. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
We're gonna watch this little video here to provide some context. Lilly ended up saying the N word and tried to disguise it as a genuine mistake for, in I guess mixing up a, a vowel
We're
or
getting
whatever
shivered.
they said.
Yep.
We'll watch it here, so we'll get into it. But the dog's name is Nugget, and let's just hear his side of all of this.
Apologizing. Well, I was calling my dog Nugget by his name, and instead of saying one vowel, I slipped and said another because I was saying that Nugget was shivering, so I swapped the vowels in my head. Thank you so much. An apology, I think, would be necessary if there was someone who I had used that word towards. And if I had used that word towards someone, I think you'd have every right to cancel me. However, that's not the case. If you want to be mad about me slipping a vowel and accidentally saying a terrible word, you can. But there's no like ill intent or anything. So if you want to be mad, but I've said what I have to say about it. All right.
It's just like, how hypocritical. How incredibly hypocritical. You're like, well, it was just a mistake, so it doesn't deserve an apology. But yet when people make a mistake towards you, well, now it deserves an apology. Now you need the manager. It's just a knife to the heart. Oh, it's just so detrimental. Shut up. Shut up.
I just want to know, why is that word so closely in your vocabulary that you could easily slip from saying nugget the N word?
I mean, we went from defending blackface and thinking blackface is funny. Like, I'm sorry, but I have never slipped with that. It is not a word that I use. It's it's just crazy. That's just crazy. With the hard R, with the hard R, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about somebody who did defend blackface, so this is not surprising to me that
No,
they would do it. It's just ridiculous that you would.
I just can't get over the like. Well, it doesn't deserve an apology. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Because you don't want to.
That's insane. So I'm going to pull up here. You know, I feel like we need a little bit of comedy here. And I think that these two things provide exactly that. So I'm going to pull it up here. And it's funny because you just kind of alluded to this, which is, I think is going to make this a little better. But, you know, I didn't want this to just be a whole super serious, episode. I did want to show some things that might get people, you know, laughing a little bit. But apparently, and it's sad that like people can't say certain words now without Lilly being like the thought of it all. But apparently on MasterChef, they said it's like a knife through the heart, and somebody screenshot this and then posted it in the Reddit. I thought it was super funny because it's like people can't even say like a normal term anymore
No,
without it being tied to Lilly now, which is insane. But I don't know. To me, I thought it was quite funny, so I figured I would share this on here because.
I mean, we almost titled this episode after this infamous Lilly phrase, so it's taking the world by storm. Not quite like Demure, but and thank God.
Absolutely. And then I've got another one here. I think this one actually will probably make most people laugh. So I hope y'all are really ready for this one because honestly, this one really got me. So
God.
It says it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the manager again. I
like that. Not
it.
A Karen, but a Darren.
I know. This really had me rolling. I'm telling you, if any of you are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, whatever, you need to go into this Lilly Tino Snark Reddit. There's some really good content in there. Like if you don't want, like you'll get your serious stuff in there, but like some of this stuff is just funny because it's like genuine humor that's tied to it all, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, there's like 8.2 thousand people in this Snark page also. So that's a lot of people that are starting to realize, this isn't a good person. And what's crazy is a lot of those people are ex-moderators from Lilly's Discord. Alyssa and I have actually had the pleasure of connecting with a lot of these people and getting to talk with them and learn their stories and hear what's going on. I mean, there was an instance where Lilly was asking one of them to form a sexting page within the Discord. And one of the things that, trigger warning, if you know, it's a big one, but one of the things that Lilly wanted incorporated into the sexting page where everybody on the Discord could basically talk dirty to each other was rape fantasies, rape play. If that doesn't tell you something. And because this moderator didn't want to do that, they immediately were excommunicated from the Discord. Gone. Well, if you're not going to play into my nasty fantasies, you can't be around. Insane. A lot of like making people uncomfortable. There's posts on this Reddit page, on the Snark page, of people that used to work with Lilly when Lilly was still Nick. And there are plenty of comments about him coming into work and walking around with his shirt off. And I don't know exactly where they were at. To me, from what I've been able to piece together, they're teachers of some sort, which is in itself incredibly concerning. But for you to like come in and like, apparently he was showering there and then walking around with his shirt off. And then he would walk up behind some of the women and like put his hand on their back and just get too close for comfort to where like they didn't even want to be alone with him. There's like literal screenshots of messages that were sent to their HR department about this. So this is not just a one-off thing. This is not just a thing that's happening as a Lilly. It's been happening long before the Lilly thing. I think the Lilly persona is just well, I can get away with it if I'm a woman. If I say I'm a woman, if I slap on there I'm a trans woman, I can just get away with it. This is why we need gatekeeping. This is why there are standards. And I can already see the comments now. Oh, you can't see there's real trans people. There are real trans people and there are fake trans people. 100%. I will stand by that till the day that I die.
Me too. But there really is. And I know, there's a lot of people that are real sensitive about the gatekeeping thing, but it's like, if you
Sorry.
don't gatekeep, this is exactly what happens.
Yep.
You get Lilly Tinos out in the world. And, we had a podcast, I think it was the last one, if I'm not mistaken, where we talked about Texas's rights,
Yep.
Being changed for trans people in the state of Texas. It sucks, but I talked about it on how they were probably going to go for birth certificates next.
Yep.
Guess what they did? Exactly what I said. So somebody like me, who's genuinely a trans woman, I cannot get my birth certificate, I can't get my marker changed. I can get my name changed on it, but I can't get my marker changed.
Yep.
It's people like Lilly Tino, I guarantee you,
Yep.
that is
Absolutely.
playing a huge role in why these pieces of legislation is being changed.
Yep. There's a video, my wife and I actually were watching it earlier. It's Buck Angel and Charlie Kirk, and I know a lot of people don't like Charlie Kirk. I think he's great. He's very logical. He's very straightforward. He does a lot of things on like school campuses and things like that. And I mean, and he's so quick at shutting people down. Like, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. And there's a video that they did, I think it was like 2 years ago, and it's kind of like this debate between the two of them. And it's interesting because Charlie Kirk is one of those that you can tell in the beginning that he's definitely against the trans thing because he doesn't understand. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm nothing against Charlie for that. But when Buck begins to explain things and is like, no, you're absolutely right. I am a biological female. I always will be a biological female. Like, Buck is very rooted in reality. And when Charlie sees this, you can see it and you're experiencing it and you're watching it happen. He's like, oh, okay. Like, you can tell he kind of went into it with a different thought process, and Buck is sitting there blowing this man's mind. And he's like, oh shit, not all trans people are scary or crazy. That's weird, and you can just see it happening. And that's all it takes. It's just being realistic. Of course they're going to take shit away from us. They're watching Lilies and Adoras and all of these nasty fuckers out there, the Rose Montoyas and all of that. Like, that's terrible representation. I'm scared of them. They make me not want to be around other trans people. And I'm a trans people. Like, it's common sense. It's logic. It just makes sense. Like, if we would stop doing that, they would stop coming for us. They would have no reason. That's the same thing that I'm saying. Like, when we put in effort to our transition, nobody has a reason to say anything to you. And then you want to bitch and moan that they're saying something to you. Well, because you're creating this for yourself. We got to start taking accountability, or it's just going to keep happening. It's sad.
It really
is.
is.
Let's go, Kelly.
Yeah, so I was going to share this because Lily, the person who doesn't work on their voice, wants to call out this person for their voice. So this video's got like an audio clip over it, but it was kind of funny.
I did not know that was a thing.
What a dumbass rat thinks about me. I don't care. Everything I say is right. Everything I say is 100% true and accurate. So
yeah, it's like if you're not going to work on your voice, you got no right to call out somebody else who has worked on their voice and sounds pretty good to me. So
what did Lily even say about Kelly? Because Kelly's been transitioning for a long time. Kelly started very young. I think it was like, 16? Something like that? Maybe younger, but it was young. Kelly was young. And in no way does she sound like a man to me. No way. I tuned into one of her lives like a couple weeks ago, and she was like singing a song. I don't know who the song was. It was kind of given like maybe Sabrina Carpenter, so one of those like girly songs, that's super popular right now. And she sounded good, and she can kind of sing, and I was impressed. But she sounded like a girl singing because she's been doing this. Like, so anything that Lily has to say about Kelly's voice has to be insecurity, because that people are catching on to the fact that you sound like a man. Wonder why. And Kelly does not. So Kelly doesn't get that kind of backlash. And you do. Well, if you're upset about it, change it. You change it. Put in some fucking effort. Be trans if
Exactly.
you want to be trans.
Yeah, if you want to talk shit about somebody's voice, then put some effort in first. That's my thought on that, honestly.
I
But
mean,
I wanted to
it's
add that
hypocritical
in.
behavior, and Lily is no stranger to the hypocritical behavior. So it just makes sense. Everything's math in here.
It really, yeah, truly. So I'm going to share the screen here and show the Snark page because as of late, Lily has made a post, and I'm not going to play the whole thing
Mhm.
because there's another video that I want to focus on that really honestly shows that Lily did not just, do like their own research. They got this from a different source. And so we're gonna get into that here. So let me share the screen. I think I have to do the entire screen, so it's gonna show us for a second here. But this is the video. I'm gonna play just a tad, and then I'm gonna play the next one, and you're gonna see that Lily likes to act like she or he does all of the like research and all of these things, and no, got it from a different source, and
Yep.
we'll get into that.
Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was queer? Sure, he was married to a woman eventually, but he had two male partners before that. The first was Billy Green, a man that Lincoln met before he got into politics. Lincoln and Green shared a bed every night for 18 months. Now, the bed itself was smaller than a twin size, so the only way it could have worked is if they were spooning. And you could say that it's just two friends sharing a bed for 18 months, but how about this quote from Green, where he's
That's all I'm going to play from that. But let's see where Lily actually got that information from. It's a movie.
Bobby, when you're ready. What? You're ready. Sorry. Okay, people wonder if America is ready for its first gay president. I say we already had one. For the final wing, please consider the Lincoln Letters, a gay American love story. For years, historians have speculated about Lincoln's sexuality. He shared a bed and exchanged intimate letters with multiple men over the years, including Joshua Speed and David Derrickson.
I'm stopping you, Bobby.
Please, yeah, stop. I've heard enough. That is insane. That is so crazy. It's the speaking in like absolutes as if Lily was there. As if Lily's like had a conversation with Abraham Lincoln about his queer encounters or his gay lovers. Like, what are you talking about? And this is coming from the same person that claims that Kurt Cobain was transgender. It's really convenient that you want to call this out on people who are no longer with us, that cannot defend themselves. Pretty telling. It's also still following a trend. I'm floored. I'm floored. That is crazy.
It is crazy. And to think that, a lot of people are going to think, oh, well, Lily must have did all this research and he really put some time in. No, he didn't. There's a
No.
movie called Bros, and I believe it's on Netflix or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly where he pulled that from.
It was Billy Eichner.
He
I love
watched that movie and said, I could make a TikTok about this, and did exactly that. It's not this researched thing. And no, literally got it from the movie Bros. And you can see that from the Snark page. So, yeah, if you really want to see some exposure of Lily, there's some good quality stuff in there, to be fair.
I mean, it's just
But
delusion.
I want to switch. I want to switch routes here, and I want to show y'all somebody who actually is trans and actually knows how to be a food critic. Lily loves to claim the title trans food critic. Let me show you an actual one that deserves the title, I think. And I'm sure you would definitely agree with me for sure.
Absolutely.
So I hope I was sharing the audio in the last one because I just noticed I had to click it here.
Yep.
Okay,
was all good.
Cool. Just making sure. So yeah, we're gonna get into this.
Let's eat Wingstop. Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! I got lemon pepper and half habanero lime. because I think those two are low-key my fave. But that looks so good. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. I have missed Wingstop so much. You hear some smacking in the background. That's my sister munching on one of my wings. She never had Wingstop before. And you, and what you say you rate it?
10 out of 10.
She said she don't even like ranch, and she's tearing this ranch up right now. I'm telling y'all. She said she'll drink it.
Don't. You're a motherfucking lie. You said that.
And if your wing bone don't look like this, you're not eating chicken right at all. Now the real debate is drum. What is that?
Flat.
Drum or flat?
Flat.
I'm a drum girly.
Flat.
I like
She's a flat girly. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell like she actually cares because you could see like the hand like when she's munching down on the wings, like it's wings, right? It's not this.
It's messy.
Easy thing to eat, like it's messy, right? But at the end of the day, you can still tell like she's covering the mouth while she's eating and doesn't want people to see. It's like that's womanly.
Yep.
And like the whole like get the hair out of the face and like there's. She is a genuine trans woman who is a food critic. That's what her whole channel is. Yep. And yeah, I just want people to see that like that's an actual trans woman doing food critic stuff, not Lilly Tino. Lilly Tino is not a food critic, rage baiter, all kinds of stuff. Not a food
Predator.
Yeah, a lot of things.
First and foremost. Well, the energy is just so different. I mean, even the location. You're not out in public. You're not out fishing to get misgendered. You're not out fishing for, you know what I mean? You're at home in the privacy of your own home. That's a huge difference. You don't ever see Lilly doing that unless she's sitting in a room with her mom talking about her spicy content being inappropriate. Then you see her or him, excuse me, in his home. So I don't know. The whole thing is just different. There's an actual review. There's an actual like critique of the food, right? That you don't see that in Lilly's content at all. Not once. I mean, there's some times where they're like, oh, this is really good. This is really good. This is what we've ordered. Let me show you. But the main focus of the content is not critiquing food at all. Not in the slightest. These are night and day differences in these videos.
Yeah, it's crazy, but hopefully everyone watching and listening, you have really gained a lot of insight on this Lilly Tino situation. Hopefully, if you are a supporter and you're watching this, hopefully you think about it and you stop, because it's this is not a person that we want to continue to platform, honestly.
Please.
And I know we're making a whole video about it, but it's really just to like show people and educate that like you shouldn't be supporting this person. And all of the things we've spoken about today are clear indicators of why it's a bad idea.
Yep.
So any closing words for you before we sign off here?
Fuck Lilly Tino. Bye, bitch. See you never, hopefully. Yeah, that's about all I got. I'm over it. I hate it. I'm done. It's frustrating. I'm never like this. I mean, in every episode we've ever done, I think I'm pretty mindful. I'm pretty demure. This one not so much, but it's because I'm just so tired of it. Like, as an actual genuine trans person, I'm so tired of having shitty representation out there. I'm tired of trying to be reserved because somebody's going to call me transphobic or an asshole or whatever it might be. Honestly, I don't care. I'm so if I can get rid of the LillyTinos and the terrible misrepresentation that we are seeing right now, cool. I'll take whatever you want to slap on me. Bye, Lilly. Get the fuck out. Don't come back. See you later.
Yeah, I'm so ready to just see Lilly completely be deplatformed.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully everyone watching can help in that process, and we can all work together to ensure that this person doesn't, continue to be platformed. People like us who are sharing like, good information each episode maybe we can start to, gain a little something and get some traction, because we aren't doing anything crazy.
Nope.
Freaking out when somebody misgenders or does anything, to us. Like,
Yep.
it's the type of people that have a platform, that shouldn't, like Lilly Tino, that,
Yep.
that continue to get money and all these different things. It just doesn't deserve it. But, people like us and other people, we're not the only ones. There's some other, creators out there as well who deserve, platform over Lilly for sure.
Yeah, we're actually trying to make a place for trans people. We're trying to
Exactly.
keep a place for trans people. And if you see that or you don't, that's fine. But that's what's happening. We're trying to show people that trans people deserve a spot in this world. Actual, genuine trans people deserve a spot in this world because we're not hurting anybody. That's all.
Exactly. Well, if you enjoyed the podcast, then go ahead and give it a like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify, you can comment now, which is really cool. So feel free to leave a comment. Also on the YouTube, if you have anything you want to say, I know, a lot of people might get vocal about this, and we welcome it.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely, comment with our 2 cents as well in regards to your comment. Good, bad, whatever, we appreciate it all.
Sure.
And so, yeah, definitely feel free to comment on either platform, YouTube or Spotify. But we definitely appreciate you. And, tune in next week to see what the next, episode has to offer. And in the meantime, have a great day.
Bye, guys.